Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Worlds Adrift. If you're getting a chance to play it or just checking out the video to see what it's all about, welcome either way. Thanks for stopping by. So, first off, this thing that I'm in right now is called the spawn chamber or something like that. Spawn tomb. Whenever you die, you can either spawn in the closest one to you or a random one, or you can spawn at a spawner that you put on your ship. Alright, so first things first. Learning how to use your grapple hook. Now, it takes a little practicing. It's not as simple as it looks, like to traverse effectively. Sure, you can just kind of willy-nilly it throughout the game, but some things that I've learned. Okay, so you can hold right click and your cursor comes up, but your screen doesn't move. And as soon as you let go of the right click, it's gonna hook. Or you can just do the regular old, like, just tap right click to either latch or unlatch. I find, like, if you're trying to do fast unhooks and hooks, then holding right click and then letting go wherever you want is probably more efficient, because sometimes you'll accidentally like unhook and you'll just go fall into the ground. So figure it out however you want, whatever works better for you. So the next thing is using your power boost on your grapple, which is a space bar. Now this only works whenever you are in the air. So if you're touching ground, you need to jump and then press spacebar right away, and then you'll use your boost. I find it works best when going up like a straight wall like this one, or if you get a glider. A good way to like kind of traverse the ground is to hook ahead of you, jump, do the boost, and then glide real fast, so that you can get some speed and then you actually glide for a little bit. So here's this little stone mound thing or whatever. These things give you knowledge. I'm gonna go over what knowledge does whenever I show you the menu for your like character and inventory and stuff like that. But that's what these things look like. Those are the only things that give you knowledge that I know of. So now getting into the character like screen, the tab button is what pulls this up. You got your character screen where you can see your clothings, your gear, re-equipped gear, unequipped, changed clothes, like all that stuff. Schematics, the blueprints that you find around the world will be in your schematics here. You can craft anything in the multi-tool tab without like any other, like a workbench or something. The assembly station and the shipyard stuff I will be showing in a actual shipbuilding video. There'll be an annotation coming up soon if you want to check that out to see what those are, but those you can only build within those stations. So here's the knowledge. Knowledge is accumulated, and you can spend it on these little blueprint skill tree things. You have to, I think, purchase 3 on each section to move up in the tiers. You start off with common, then you go to uncommon, then rare, then pristine, and then I think it's legendary. I haven't gotten that far yet, but I did get to pristine, so I know that's next. So that's how you progress in your blueprints, or you can just randomly find it if you're lucky. So here's your crew tab. This is what you use to create crews, to group up with people, so you can crew chat no matter where you are, because there is a limited range for you to chat to people. So that's nice to be able to chat, and then you could spawn on your group leader. So that's always nice too, every 24 hours though, so be careful with that. Then your logbook is like your codexes and stuff like that you find throughout the world, like these green little squares here. You can see I'd already found those 2, so they didn't do anything for me. And that pretty much wraps up the character menu. So let's go on to your tool. 1 is what you use to chop down things or scavenge things. 2 is made for repairing things that are broken. That's going to be used on like your ship mainly. It'll light up green if it needs repairs. 3 is your move tool. You can only use that within a owned shipyard. And then 4 is what you use to get the knowledge off of those little stone platforms. So throughout the world you'll find random chests like these ones, and you'll also find bigger chests that I'm going to show in a little bit, and they'll have random stuff from, you know, metals, trees, random knickknacks that you can salvage, and clothes. And sometimes you'll get blueprints and journal pieces out of the little chests, but definitely 100% all the time so far I have gotten blueprints and diary pieces out of the bigger chests like you see here. So far anyway, 100% of the time there will be at least 2 blueprints within those bigger chests. So if you find those, definitely go check that out, see if you can learn a new blueprint. So here I'm just showcasing how you change clothes and stuff and how that works. You can either right click and then equipped, or you can drag and drop. Okay, on to actual mining and scavenging for things. You already seen how you can scavenge trees. Those give you wood logs. These little white ball things are fuel. You need those for like to fill your fuel tank, and that's what is used in engines. Okay, now these rocks. This is where all your metal comes from, besides like salvaging metal parts from ships. And the thing to know about these is you don't want to hit that black rock within the crumbled rock. You'll see these little pieces like this, like the little metal pieces. That's what you want to hit. Now, if you accidentally hit the black rock too much, it will explode and it'll send your pieces flying, so you can't really get them. So be careful with that, especially if it's on the side of a mountain, so that you'll just fall into oblivion. But what I've learned is the only time those rocks are reset is if you explode it. So make sure when you're done getting all the pieces, explode it, because they won't refuel if you want to reuse them again. So looking for different islands, I had nothing to lose, so I was just kind of gliding there, seeing if I can reach islands that I've never been to. And it actually worked pretty decently, but eventually I fell all the way down and I died. Okay, now it's time to showcase the wind walls, or the storm walls. So apparently each like set of islands are encased within a wind sail, I heard it called, and the wind wall surrounds each wind sail. And to progress, or to get out of the wind sail, you have to go through this wall. Now you can see right now it is tearing my boat up, and I'm basically nosediving at this point, even with my helm pulled all the way back. So they are pretty rough. Now I built this boat just to showcase how like hard it is to get through this, because I don't even get close to getting through this. I didn't even basically touch it. I went through the first little tip, pushed me down and broke my sails. So you need a decent boat to get through this. I'm going to show you what it actually is like to get through the wind wall. But back to like what it actually stands for. So the theory for the longest time, I thought, because I've heard it a few times, I thought that you start in like a starting area, and then you have to progress outward through the wind walls, and you get better loot and stuff from the other island on the other side. Now I can say, after spending like 4 or 5 hours on the other side of my starting area, that's not the case. I was finding basically the same stuff. None changed. So the new theory is it's a biome change. So each sail contains different types of islands, and you have to progress through the wind walls to get to the different biomes for like different materials, I guess. So I'm not sure yet. You decide. I don't know. So anyway, here I killed myself just to show you that there's a kill floor. After the depth of 0, you do die, so you can't go too low. So if you do make it into the wind wall will straight push you down until you're out of it. So you have to make sure you're always pulling up, always. Which I'll tell you how to like use your helm and stuff in the shipbuilding video, so if you want to check that out. But anyway, I ended up making a ship that I hoped can withstand the wind wall. And I do go through it here. I'm not sure what actually makes it good enough to go through. I think maybe metal plating helps it get a little more like heavier so that the wind can't really push it around as much. But don't forget, doing so makes your ship heavier, so you need either better cores or more cores. So just be wary of that. And this is the first time I've ever been through the wind wall, so I was very confused why it didn't really toss me around at all. Like, I was like, wow, this actually happened. I didn't even know I was out. Like, I thought maybe it was like glitched or something, but I just didn't really get tossed around too much. I did get tossed around a little bit. You can see I had to move my helm a little bit, but other than just a few bumps, it was really easy to get through. So I'm not sure what actually makes it easy or hard. I'm kind of guessing it's the metal plating and stuff like that. And you definitely need to watch your fuel, and your engines and your wings need to be decent enough to make it through. And I do think, since my sails got broken on the other test, I do think the wind damages your ship. So health is another good thing to look out for whenever you're equipping items. That's just a theory that I have. Okay, so heading west, which is what I've always been heading, through the wind wall, head west, and then I headed west after the wind wall, and we ended up running into this rainstorm. Now, this rainstorm is really intense. Apparently what happens, your boat gets flung around, and there's lightning periodically that'll damage parts of your ship. So pieces can fly off, it can break your engines, it can break your helm, everything could break, and you'll just be stuck there, getting pushed around by this storm. Now, we did end up losing, I think, one engine, and at one point both of my wings broke. So I had no turning capabilities. I was just kind of getting flung around by the wind, so that wasn't too pleasant. But you can see I kind of stayed directly west for the most part, and I managed to keep my altitude at pretty much the same height. That's another thing I wanted to say. It's really good to make sure you have all those gauges, at least a compass and an altimeter, at least those two, so that you can monitor which direction you're going and how high you are from the kill floor. Those are definitely a big help, because the first time I went through the wind wall, I didn't it's very hard to get through it whenever you don't have like a decent ship. And the first time I went through it, I got like midway through, and it was so foggy, so much clouds, I couldn't see anything. I lost my bearings immediately. So having that compass definitely helped a lot. See, right now I can't see anything, I can't see where I'm going, so that compass is letting me head directly west, no matter what. So I'm really glad I found that compass when I did, because I just found it today, matter of fact, before I started recording. I was like, oh yes, I need this for this wind wall test. So you can see at this point, I think I lost both of my wings because I can't turn at all. But we finally start seeing the light. So I think we just about made it out. See, my boat is steady drifting to the right there. So I slowed up the ship and we started repairing things. You can see I have the engine out, it's sparking. Both of the wings are out. A lot of the plating is out, like it's pretty broken. Just all kind of things are just trashed. So make sure you have a lot of materials handy whenever you go through the rainstorm wall, because you're gonna need to repair some things when you're out. It gets pretty intense. It was fun though, don't get me wrong, it was really fun. But I'm glad that rando guy was there, because I probably wouldn't have made it out by myself, because he was repairing stuff as we were going through the storm. So I think without him repairing stuff, I probably would have went down. Alright, well that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope it was helpful to you in either figuring out things or just being interested in the game and not sure yet. I've been enjoying it a lot, no doubt. But if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Check out the links down below in the description, or just check out theauthenticgamer.com. And the next few minutes is just going to be me exploring beyond the wind walls. I think we ended up visiting like 3 or 4 different islands. So if you want to stay and watch that, be my guest. But if not, we'll see you next time.